Welcome to this video. This is basically going to explain how you can get your rising sign that's talked about so much in astrology. Now, before we start, there is what are three things you're going to need, right? And this is going to make me go off into what's called rectification in a little bit, but I have to explain this to you guys. So if when you consult an astrologer about yourself or your business, for example, and you don't have timestamps of when your business was made or when you were born, we're looking at a natal chart, right? A chart of basically the skies, the heavens. And we need a location, a time, and a date. So if you, this is most of the case. This is the case for most people, right? They will have a date of birth. They know when they're born. They know where, but they don't know exactly what time. And it's something that's not probably remembered in some families and some occasions. Probably most likely, rare, but that does happen. And if you don't have a time, that can be quite easy to rectify for a person. An astrologer will sit down with you, if that's the case for you, ask you a bunch of questions, and they know that every 2 hours of that day, let's say if you don't know the time of what day, but you know what day, every 2 hours is a different rising sign. So to just work through there and see like different degrees and stuff it can take some time. It gets more difficult with these, but there are still methods and ways of doing rectification that I won't go into. So that is the only thing that you're going to need. And I recommend a few websites. I would say AstroSeek primarily for me. Astro Theme is actually quite cool as well. I like a few others and some apps that you guys can use, but I'm going to leave a link for this website over here, AstroSeek. There's a bunch of things you can do on it for free, tools in astrology that you can use for free, or astronomy. And so you're going to need to create an account, go over there and enter these free pieces of information for any chart you want to do. So let's say you want to compare your chart to a chart of your lady, or chart of your boyfriend, or your business, maybe even. You can then upload both charts individually, if you know these free pieces of information, and then go on AstroSeek and do a synastry chart, which is basically a chart within a chart. It's complicated, but then that shows you your relationship, or the relationship between two things that you've entered. There we go. And so upon that, you're going to get basically a big wheel with all of your information astrologically. So no matter what you enter, if it's from a business, if it's from a person's birth or whatever, you're going to get a wheel. Okay, you're going to get the wheel. You're going to get the 360 degrees of the sky, and that's partly actually why I work with this system instead of Jyotish, is for the 360 degrees. And upon getting that wheel, you're going to notice that you have a sign, and then you have a house. So a house would be the lines within, and the sign would be probably just outside the wheel. Now, whichever rising sign you have, it doesn't matter. Okay, so one thing you need to understand or overstand, whatever they say, is that Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, and so that embodies energy of the first house. So universally, Aries is the first house. So for example, I was born with my Virgo as the first house. Okay, so my Virgo is first house. Now, let's say I was new to astrology. I was watching this exact video, like yourself probably, or whatever. I'll go on the website, enter those three, and whatever I see for my first house, that will be all I need to remember. Because here's the thing. Once Virgo is my first house, I know that Pisces, opposite it, is my 7th. There we go. And I know that Gemini over here is my 10th of careers. So for example, 25th of April, a few days ago, Uranus entered Gemini. I know that it is just entered now my 10th house of career, fame, work, administration, what else? Yeah, those themes, basically my career house. This is the career house, your work house. And as a Virgo rising, that's quite important. So it's a significant transit, we call that. And just from remembering what my rising sign is, this first house here, I then get used to remembering then what my second and like third houses are, and it's quite interesting. So Libra would be my second house of finances and fortune and wealth, kind of. And so if anything were to go into Libra, like Mars, I get a lot of passion and energy and drive for my finances. So that would be a good time to work hard, for example. All because I've remembered that Virgo is my first house. And so you get used to your own map of the sky. So however the sky is moving, currently above us. Like I said, Uranus is transiting into Gemini, but my natal Uranus is somewhere else, like over here. You don't have to worry about that. But transiting Uranus, meaning the Uranus up in the sky, is going into Gemini right now, and that is my 10th house. So it's gonna go conjunct my 10th house, and this is going to be quite a powerful one for not only me but for many people, and especially Virgo risings. So I hope that helped. It's quite a simple method I've tried to convey it. I hope you guys got it. I tried to make it as simple as I could without going off on a tangent. So that's basically how to find your rising sign, and this is going to be necessary if you want to keep up to date with your own astrological map and self. So I hope you guys enjoyed.